Hello, Fightful Faithful. I am washed out entirely. That threw me for a loop. You know what threw me for a loop? Last night, Johnny Gargano came back, and I was live streaming my reactions, and I was so thrown for a loop that I just stopped talking entirely. Forgot I was live streaming, and there was like 5 minutes of dead air where I just watched him cut a promo. What's happening? That happened last night. What happened tonight, Kate? What show are we doing? I forgot. Who are you?
Oh boy, Alex. This is the NXT post show for August 23rd. This is Sour Graps.
Right.
This is the part of the show where we remind everyone to get in their super chats, get in their humper chats, and leave a thumbs up on this video. We appreciate your support in whatever way you can send it. And guys, it's my 1-year anniversary this week. Not last week, as we initially suspected.
You thought, but it's actually yours. What we cross over from tonight to tomorrow, and it becomes your official 1-year anniversary on this program, on the NXT program.
My Graps anniversary. I'm very excited about it. And what better way to celebrate than kind of not feeling too great today and the show not being very good. I feel like synergy is nice.
Do you like Graps anniversary or Anna Grapsery?
Ooh, Anna Grapsery, right?
I think so.
I think Anna Grapsery.
Sour-versary? Wait. Anniversary. Anniversary. That's what it is. It's an anniversary.
You and me, buddy. You and me.
Anniversary. We are great. Anyway, so yeah, we'll I just want consistency.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I want things like, oh, hey, that was good, followed by something god awful. I don't want that. I just keep the good going. I'm not even asking you to be consistently great. I want good as a baseline. Good. Like a 6 out of 10 is as low as you go. That's what I want. They don't. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that they do, they know is going to be shit, and they do it anyway because it's like, oh, well, we can't do everything good. Otherwise people will like stop watching. There was some just genuinely perplexing things that happened tonight, and a couple of really good things. I really enjoyed the main event. I think that personally myself, and I know that Kate has gotten a lot of this from me over the past year, I can't be excited about something like Meiko Satomura showing up because I see the writing on the wall and I know it's coming and it's awful. And see, that's the problem, is I can't just enjoy something in the moment because I know that what is coming down the pike is just a freight train filled with poop. And it's a poop train. That's what's coming down the and I'm not happy about it because I can't just let myself be happy in the moment because that's my sickness. That's my thing I've got to get over. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about tonight.
There is, and you should get in your super chats and humper chats about it, and you can support us on Twitch as well, by the way, at twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. The only sliver of hope that I have, we can talk about this as we get more into the show, but like Triple H is in charge now and said changes are going to be coming, right? And I think the only foolish optimism that I have about the women's title picture is like if JC Jane and Gigi were supposed to get called up, maybe Mandy's getting called up too. We'll get into what happened with Legato. Like, it does seem like call-ups are maybe on the horizon, so maybe that triple threat isn't going to go the way that historically it might have before, but also it very well could. So, but we'll get into all of that as we go through this very mixed bag. I did love the main event as well. I thought that was great. I loved the InDex segment, but most of the show, the tag match being the most absurd, left a lot to be desired, in my opinion.
Yeah. We have a couple of see here. Here we go. Tom Valley says, happy anniversary to our leggy blonde onion. SGS for life. And happy oddly quiet days to Alex too. Yeah, it's been weird. We had a guy come out to like look at doing a project. We have concrete in the back that's like literally sinking. So he's like we're gonna hire a mud jacker because apparently that's something you could do. That's also a thing that sounds dirty, but it's not.
That sounds like something Brooks and Jensen would do.
Yeah, that's what they do
like on the weekend. Yeah,
I'm a mud jacker. I'm a mud jacker. Jay the Pringle says, happy sour-versary to the bare shoulders that hold this place up, the face that runs the place, the bangs heard round the world. Kate Elizabeth.
That was a good baseball announcer voice.
That's how you have to ring announce you. Is hold out the E. Kate Elizabeth. That's good.
Basically Justin Roberts saying John Cena.
Yep. Yes, exactly.
Crushed it. Thank you for all the nice super chats and hopper chats about my 1 year here. I appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah. Lord Kev says, good evening, Alex and Miss Kate. Hope you're well. Yes.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord Kev. Yes, I'm well. I mean, statistically speaking. And the Battered to One Jam Beard says, leggy blonde onion. So, le blondion.
There you go.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a strawberry onion, though. That's what the C's girls were saying.
Strawberry. A strawberry onion. That sounds disgusting.
Now my hair's. It does sound disgusting, but maybe it's some sort of special jam that you put on a burger or something.
I'm going to read this against my better judgment. Paco Taco says, by the way, fantastic handle, Paco Taco. He says, Mudjacker sounds like something Lars Sullivan would have gotten released for. And then we're just going to move on, and we're not going to talk about it anymore. The Nerd Guru says, happy anniversary, Kate, a Drew gem of a human.
Well, thank you.
That's true. I obviously I know how to scout them, and I only accept true gems of humans on this show. That's true.
Well, thank you.
Taylor Cannon is a 14-month member of the Fightful main roster here on YouTube. Thank you so much, Taylor. Says, happy 1 year anniversary, Kate. That's
Thank
good.
you.
One of the things that I think we have cultivated over the past year is, I think, a really awesome little community. People, we actually have a community called SGS on Twitter, where you're more than welcome to join. But so many people tell us that when they're going through a rough patch, that this is something they look forward to every night, watching us, but hanging out in the chat with all you people, which is kind of awesome. And we got a couple
biggest
things
compliment
here.
we could get, to be honest.
Yes,
like that's the biggest.
We had a couple of things, a couple of chats here along that way. Jake Neal says, found out I will be getting laid off. So this will be my last super chat from me for a little while. Thank you, Alex and Kate, for always bringing so much joy on Tuesday nights. You're very welcome, Jake. Sorry about you're getting laid off, but obviously anybody who's cool enough to hang out with us, you're going to get a job like that. Better job, higher paying job, because you're obviously very qualifying. Yeah.
You're better at your job than Robert Stone is, and that guy stuck around. So,
yeah. And I'm not even really sure how to handle this one. But the fella who's always in our chat cosplaying, I guess, as Buster, your dog, Buster Elizabeth, sends in one that I don't know. It says 3 years ago today, my wife and daughter were taken from me in a car crash coming home from my daughter's first day of school. I'd like to thank the SGS for being so welcoming and weird. You wonderful people bring a little joy into my life every Tuesday. Speaking as a guy who just had a daughter go to her first day of school, I can't even imagine the kind of pain that would be emotionally, and I am so honored that you find this place to be a safe place to even mention that, and also that you enjoy hanging out with us, and we can bring some kind of light into your life. So, man, from me to you, I'm so sorry for your loss, and I know that, you know, they say it gets better every day. I hope that's the case for you.
I do, and that was actually my dog. He's been through a lot. So, just kidding. I'm glad you guys feel safe here. Like we've said this before in times that are like on a macro level, I think really stressful, that like the wrestling part of this is really fun, but like anybody can sit around and talk about wrestling, right? Like our mods keep this whole community safe. We try to have a good time. We try to leave room for people. Like the fact that people can feel comfortable enough to be in the chat and share, especially like in this stream, like there's just so much of a, I mean, it's such a community. There's people that don't watch NXT that tune in, right? So like we appreciate you guys and like all of the love. I see it in the chat right now. Like everybody sending love is really wonderful. And you know, that's like the best part of any sport or form of entertainment is the community around it, right? So thank you for tuning in every week. We are weird, and we do have a wonderful group of people. Alex and I are definitely responsible for the weird part. I'll give credit to the chat for the wonderful part.
You're the wonderful. We're just weird.
We're real weird.
Battle to One Jam Beard says group hug to Jake and Buster. Absolutely. And Buster sends his thanks. Thanks, Buster. Jeremy Pringle says Pope Papa Paul Elizabeth Council of Marks dual ladies of cease and desist. The one true Alex. It's true. All the SGS community, I bid you all good tidings. Maybe we can all continue to love one another and lift each other up. Thank you so much, JDB Pringle.
At my parents' household, at Papa Elizabeth's household, my godmother is actually there tonight, and his sister, and my uncle and my two cousins, as there's a move going on. So there are even more of the Elizabeth clan in the house over there.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
This is very funny.
So true. So true. He's so in the mud. He's a mud jacker. Matthew Plus says money on or that person's connection with the Sour Graps. So true. Yeah.
That's how real this was. Matthew Plus was just nice. That's how real we get.
That's crazy. We Katie looks like a TLC reality show subject.
Thanks for your money.
He can't be nice. He can't just let it be nice.
It would make me itchy if he was. Like I don't even want that at this point.
It'd be weird. We start out with Braun Breaker saying nice things about JD McDonough. You don't. It's fine. We get it. It's cool. You don't have to say nice things about him. We know you're a baby face. You don't say nice things about him. He's weird. So we'll move on from that. Then Tyler Bate comes out. And Tyler Bate's just so damn affable. Said, "Oh, hello. Thank you. It's good to be here. Hello."
Wait. You're going to have to do better because that's Nathan Fraser.
No. See, Nathan Fraser's down here. Yes, he is. Hello. And Tyler Bate's up here. Hello. How are you? How are everyone? I'm waving. Hello. Look at me wave. Okay. They're similar. I'll give you that. But you got to figure out that one's brighter and one's darker. More.
It was more lower. That your face looked like a dopey golden retriever again, which is the hallmark of Nathan Fraser, but we'll let it slide.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Anyway, Tyler Bate.
Super chats and humper chats in the musical stylings of Tyler Bate for tonight.
No.
We'll see if Alex hates it more or less than Nathan Fraser.
I hate them all. Like this, there's
Happy
other ones I can do that are better.
To me.
Yeah, it's true. So listen. Tyler Bate basically, talks about, he said, and Braun Breaker says, I know how good you are. I've seen you. But that's over there in the minor leagues. This is NXT, baby, where the best wrestlers are. Like, yeah, says let's have a match at Worlds Collide, and they both hold up the things, and so there's your match. Worlds Collide, title for title. NXT. He says NXT Europe is on the horizon. Whatever. I'm glad that we're going to get this match because I think Tyler Bate and Braun Breaker could be excellent. Will be excellent. I just don't get rid of the belt. Like, the NXT UK belt is one of the most beautiful title belts I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. Can you just repurpose it into the NXT Europe belt whenever the fuck that comes? Like, I don't lose that belt. That belt's too beautiful to go away. It's all of the belts in WWE should be designed by over-design that one. It's gorgeous.
Who's gonna tell him, chat? Who's gonna be the one to break Alex's heart? That belt's absolutely going away. There is nothing wrestling in general loves more than introducing new belts. They're gonna start NXT Europe instead of NXT UK. They're absolutely getting a new belt. It is a gorgeous belt. It is gorgeous.
Can you just hire the same person who designed the old one to design the new one?
I hope so. It really is. It really is a gorgeous belt. I do hope they stay in the same vein as that. I do absolutely also think this is turning into a triple threat with JD McDonough.
You do, huh?
I do.
They'd already signed the contract. They signed the contract tonight. That's done. They're not adding JD.
Well, if NXT is known for anything, it's following the rules. So.
The rules they themselves set in place. And said,
immediately try and break. Immediately break.
Yeah, we have a
It'll probably be a fatal
four
way because there'll be a DQ for a third spot contendership or something. It'll be terrible.
Yeah, let's not even. So Worlds Collide Sunday afternoon before All Out. This our Kate and my weekend has gotten to become crazier and crazier.
Yeah, it's Mania weekend all over again.
Yeah. I wish they would just do the NXT Worlds Collide after the Clash'll the day before, because then they would be like back-to-back WWE things, and we could get that done out of the way. Because it's America time. The Clash'll is going to start pretty early. But I'm excited about this particular match more than anything else that I think is going to be on the card. And so that this match will be very good. Honestly, it all depends on what they have plans, what plans they have for Breaker. Because if they decide, well, we're bringing him up soon because we think he's ready and we got plans for him, we're going to do something with this guy, then I could absolutely see Tyler Bate being an ambassador of actual NXT. That dude has been in NXT UK since the beginning. He was the first NXT UK champion. Like he's the only two-time NXT UK champion. So like I think that guy deserves to have a run with the actual NXT title belt of anybody who was in NXT UK, excluding Pete Dunne, who spent a lot of time at NXT stateside as well. But I think that's great. But it's very likely that they just have Breaker win it because,
My only thing with call-ups now for someone as highly touted and deservedly so as Breaker, it's just weird timing because, maybe Survivor Series will mean something this year, but historically, from now until the end of the year, now until Rumble season, really, this time of year doesn't really mean anything in WWE Pro Wrestling. It's been mostly meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
I don't know either. And we'll talk more about
with the draft.
The draft, I think they're going to see a lot of people called up for the draft. I think that there's a lot of like Cameron Grimes has done all he can do.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think the only thing he has left to do is be a part of a terrible Joe Gacy cult storyline.
Call him up. Call him down.
That's the only thing he hasn't done yet. So just call him up on the draft. Call up Alba Fire. Call up her in the draft. Call her up yesterday. Like she's done whatever she needs to do as well.
You know where you could read about WWE draft news, Alex?
I've heard.
FightfulSelect.com for just $5 a month, the latest and greatest breaking news in pro wrestling. But there's some draft news that broke, as well as continuing updates on everything else, including the Hangman and CM Punk stuff. So go over there and check it out. But I'm intrigued. Like, I don't know. It just feels like NXT feels like Triple H is like, hold on, we're going to get to you, NXT. Hold on. I got to take care of Raw, and then I'm coming for SmackDown, and then you're going to get good, but like in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Because nothing makes sense.
Speaking of nothing making sense,
what a segue.
Yeah, that's great. We have a Gallus versus Double Vest in the Beach. Beach, I implore you, sir. Different lower body extremity coverings. Like the cutoff shorts are not doing it for you. Beach. I implore you. So before this, we see Fallon Henley like trying to claw the eyes out of Lash Legend. And then they just separate them and they get down to the ring. It's like, oh, so Lash Legend is absolutely getting involved in this match. Thanks for letting me know ahead of time, so I know that there's going to be that part of it.
Of
course. So it's Gallus. It's Mark Coffey and Wolfgang versus Double Vest in the Beach for the NXT UK Championships. And the thing of it is I thought to myself, well, obviously there's going to be a title change here, so you can get real NXT UK people holding the NXT UK titles versus the Creeds at Worlds Collide. So you have an actual NXT tag team versus an actual NXT UK tag team to unify those titles. Obviously, Gallus will win and should win because it was a massive mistake to put the titles on Double Vest in the Beach in the first place. Little did I know that they have monkeys booking this shit backstage, because what the hell was the end of this match? So
it was, the only thing I could say about it was it's not an end to a wrestling match.
No.
This is not an ending to a wrestling match.
This is Lash Legend comes out and attacks Fallon Henley because of course he did. We all knew that was going to happen. But then Double Vest, who is the legal man in the ring at the time, in the middle of a hot tag, gets out of the ring to try and rescue Fallon Henley because that's a thing he needs to do right now. And then the Yes Boys come out, whatever they're, Pretty Deadly. I don't remember their actual name.
Pretty Deadly.
And they run out and they attack him. Whichever one the blonde one is like throwing punches and hitting. They're landing. That's a disqualification. Yeah. But the ref doesn't call it. He calls a count out so that Gallus won, even though they didn't win because Pretty Deadly attacked Double Vest and caused a disqualification because the match wasn't no DQ. So then there's a big then Diamond Mine comes out, wants to attack Gallus. There's 4 of them all going. So I was thinking to myself, this is stupid. The whole booking at the end of the match is terrible. The porn bots are here. They just wanted to come and share their responses to this as well. So here's what I thought we were going to get after this, Kate. It's like, well, if the final result is this, then I'll let it go. I'll let it slide. You have the Creeds. You have the Yes Boys you have the Hooligan Boys, and you have the Redneck Boys. And then you have them all in a match together, a ladder match with both sets of titles hanging above the ring. And that ladder match could be a lot of fun. And it's a perfect opportunity to have 2 NXT UK, let's be honest, that's what Pretty Deadly is, and 2 NXT tag teams in there together, all fighting to be the only tag team with belts in all of NXT. Like, that seems great. But apparently that's not what we're getting, because later there's this whole thing between Gallus and Diamond Mine, and we're just going to get like, hey, after we're done this 6-man tag versus Gallus next week, then let's have a match. The double vest and the Beach versus the Creeds. I'm like, no, the worlds collide. There are no worlds colliding. Worlds are not colliding if it's double vest and the Beach versus the Creeds. That's a fucking match that we could see. I'm pretty sure we have seen on regular NXT on a Tuesday night. Like, worlds are not colliding. Worlds aren't even coming close to one another.
I don't understand how
the 4-way happens.
I mean, I would certainly I would certainly hope so. But I also just don't understand this company, which is obsessed with brand supremacy, Alex. Mm-hmm. This time of year, they start to become obsessed with brand supremacy. I guess technically like in a couple months from now. Why aren't you just doing like NXT UK, like a proper NXT UK versus NXT US pay-per-view? Just do it. All the titles on the line. That's the ball game. That's it. Sorry, Mandy Rose isn't good enough to be believable to beat Miko, but like, you have to make it work. Like, sorry, it just seems so weird to do this. Brooks and Jensen they shouldn't have any title belts right now. I'm sorry. They're just not good enough in the ring. Their characters they're extremely one note. Their characters don't really translate to a wrestling ring. They definitely shouldn't hold what feels like the more prestigious of the titles. And I don't really understand the value of them having them when you have teams from, like, what the hell is Grizzled Young Vets not doing in this? Like, that makes my heart break. Like, GYV should be in this. Like, if they are going to be setting up a 4-pack.
So angry. Why didn't you just do this 3 months ago when we still had our beards and our actual team name? Why did you wait so long?
It's so lame. But I hated the ending to this match, the ending to it, because it didn't resolve the match that was in front of us at all. I don't understand why anybody would have to break up Fallon, why it's somebody who's actively in a wrestling match's job to go break up a skirmish on the outside between Fallon Henley and Lash Legend makes absolutely no sense at all to me. Never mind the legal man in the match. That seems like that was just poor agenting. I hated this. This was one of the dumbest conclusions to a wrestling match I've ever seen on television in my life. Like, I can't think of a more like directionless ending to a match.
Yeah.
I've had endings I've hated as much, but like to get from here to setting up a 4-pack is just a stupid route to take. There's no way around that.
JW Pringle says, how many mudjackers does it take to make NXT good? It sounds like the beginning of a riddle, but it's not. And the answer is like too many. More than they can afford. Because the foundation of NXT is sinking into the mud. And we need mudjackers to come and bring it out. Batted at One Champion says it was Beej's shorts that brought the porn bots.
That could be. Yeah. You know what, Alex?
Mm.
Sometimes people don't have bots to come and get them excited. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you can't get excited like on your own. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little bit of assistance. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need our friends at Blue Chew. And Sean Ross Sapp is here to tell you all about them.
Hello. Is your penis limp? Would you like it to be erect? Fortunately, BlueChew.com and the code Fightful is going to help you out an awful lot. Maybe you're having trouble with that. Maybe you just want the confidence. Well, BlueChew.com and the code Fightful is right for you. Free. Your first order is free. You just pay $5 shipping. There are a few other steps you go through. You consult with the online physician. If approved, it ships straight to your door in a discreet package. But your first shipment is free with the code Fightful. It's got the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work, but they work on your schedule or whenever you're not ready and you want to be ready, whenever the mood arises. It's in a chewable form, very easy, very simple. Help yourself out. Give yourself that confidence with BlueChew.com and the code Fightful.
And darn it, with all the money you're saving on Blue Chew, you could go over to Fightful Select and subscribe. You not only get the latest and greatest breaking news and wrestling about WWE draft plans. Last week at this time, Sean had updates about the British invasion that we ended up getting, sans the Beatles. But you get this fella, and oftentimes me, but always this fella, doing podcasts behind the Fightful Select paywall. That's right. Not only do you get shows on the main, but Alex, and oftentimes me, are bringing you Raw post shows, are bringing you SmackDown post shows. In addition to this, also in the Sour Graps vein, but lately things have been really exciting and good, so that's difficult. And any pay-per-view under the sun that you have ever thought of, that's not true. But like a lot of the pay-per-views, Alex and I also do Fightful Select post shows, so if you like what's on the main, but you love what's behind the paywall, you can join us for all of those too. And heck, you can also take the money you're saving with your Blue Chew Fightful code. And you can send in super chats and humper chats to talk about NXT tonight. You can send in bits on Twitch. But just, you know, there's lots of ways to give us your money. And hey, leave a thumbs up on this video. It's completely free.
Uh-huh.
It's my anniversary here. Leave a thumbs up.
When you want your shorts to be tight like Beeges, Blue Chew code Fightful is what you need.
Hey, you know
Tighten
what?
those shorts, says the
It
battered
is my
one
1-year
Jambier.
anniversary, and I would appreciate if we would celebrate by you not upstaging my segues with better ones. Banned from the chat. Just kidding.
William Regal's son, known as Charlie Dempsey, is now a part of all of this, and he is a ringer brought in by Andre Chase to teach people how to wrestle at his university for wrestlers. Is it wrestling class? Is it gym class? They're always in the classroom? I'm so confused. I hate Andre Chase University. I hate it so fucking much. I hate Andre Chase University. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It makes no fucking sense. I fucking hate it. So I'm here for Charlie Dempsey just coming in and being William Regal Jr., breaking all the limbs of all the people who were associated with Andre Chase University. I'm fine. Let's do that. Can we do that? That'd be great. Because it seems like that's what he's here for, and that'd be good. Also, a little shout out to Google Billy Robinson. I like that a lot.
Is he gonna say Battle Frolic? Because if not, he's not really William Regal's kid.
What if Triple H brings him up to the main roster, puts him in a suit, like maybe give him a haircut, style it a little different, and have him just come out there. All he's got to do is come out and go War Games, and that's it.
That's it. That's his whole job in the entire company. I love it. I think what would have been helpful would have been if they produced some vignettes to introduce who the heck all these people are for people that watch NXT but don't watch NXT UK, which is a lot of people, so that we would have a semblance of who they are. It's a very simple and effective thing that's been used in wrestling for thousands upon millions of years. I don't understand why you had one brand absorbed into another brand and you didn't tell us anything about anybody that came over. I don't know what his beef with Chase University is, but maybe he just hates it too, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Henry T. Casey says Regal Jr. starting Blackpool Combat Club Florida chapter. That could be good.
It's like the Liverpool fighting society.
Yeah. This Better One Jam Beer says, this Charlie Dempsey thing, isn't that what Thatcher was doing with his class thing, stretching people? Yeah, they're stealing that thing, but Tim Thatcher did it better. I don't know.
Yes.
Matthew Plus says,
all accurate.
Money for Chase U so it can pay rent in Alex's head.
First of all, it would be tuition. Idiot.
But no, but like I think they're saying that like he says they live rent free in my head, but
you just paid rent.
If they're paying rent, they don't live rent free. They're a tenant. And much like you, Matthew Plus, as long as you're paying me money, Chase University, inside my brain, I'm fine with it. Pay me money and we'll do whatever.
Would you say Chase University is the Judas in your mind?
I would say that, yes. That's good.
What is worse to you, Jericho or Jericho Appreciation Society or Chase U? What's worse?
Chase U is much worse.
It is, right?
I understand what they're doing with Yas. I get it. Some of it actually like makes sense and rings true. I just don't care for it on my AEW programming. I understand what they're doing. I don't like it. Chase University makes no fucking sense. And that's worse. Orion Ben 666 says Charlie, Blair, Gallus, and Mako are here. Poor NXT kids. And Luis says that Dempsey went from New Japan Young Lions to whooping NXT Young Lions. Synergy. Yeah.
It's true. You're not wrong.
The last thing he did was like try to choke out Bodie. Is that his name? Bodie?
Yes.
So there you go. Hey, we got the Grayson Waller effect. Who turned out the lights? I thought that was just for the lights out match. Why was Grayson Waller's his talk show lit like that? Like it honestly looked like somebody hadn't paid the light bill. I don't understand what that was.
Why is Grayson Waller?
Why is Grayson Waller? How is Grayson Waller? Is also a very good question.
What is Grayson?
Annoying is the thing for me. Somebody's, you know what? Kyler, wonderful dude who runs the NXT. The Fightful social media says, give me TV 14 Grayson Waller. That guy's awesome. It's like, give me not on TV at all Grayson Waller. That's what I want because I don't need to see him do anything ever again.
Okay. I'm somewhere in between you two. Also, shout out to Kyler for not only being great on Fightful Twitter, but we reached 100,000 followers today, which is really, really cool. This had some good zingers in it for wrestling. It's not my favorite in the world, but it is. Apollo Crews seemed like a person, so that was good. Like he seemed like a human being, and he had some things to say. So I appreciate that about it, where it wasn't like, okay, he's not fake Nigerian accent guy, and he's not diner vigilante man. Right. So that's good. He sounded grounded and down to earth, and there were some good lines in here. I don't know why we needed it in the. It's like a classic case of just doing way too much. Like you didn't need the lights to be off. You didn't even need this to be a talk show. This could have just been an in-ring promo, Alex. It's like I don't understand why this wasn't just a guy with a mic and another guy with the mic in the ring, and then they have a little brawl, like we always see. I felt like a talk show was a little bit too much for this. But I also hate wrestling talk shows as much as I love wrestling weddings.
All of this is yes. There was one thing that I appreciated, which was Grayson Waller, not him doing it, but them doing it, acknowledging, like, so what happened to that accent you were talking with for all of it? And then, like, Apollo goes into the accent. You mean this one? Yeah. The thing of it is even without the accent, I'm still a Nigerian warrior, and I'm still proud of my heritage. And
yes,
that's fine. Like I appreciated like him showing.
Oh, we should have been. Yeah.
Without the accent.
Correct.
He didn't need the accent. He could have just been proud of his heritage.
Yes.
But here's the thing, Kate. And here's the thing I could not get past for this entire thing. Because it drastically changes what you're doing with Apollo Crews. Grayson Waller starts talking about Apollo Crews' visions. He says, "What's with all these visions you having, mate? Like,
this was
you could see Diamond Mine getting laid out by Gallus. You didn't do anything about it. What's up with that? Why these visions you having? Could you do one for us now? How do you know that he even has visions, let alone like
what they are?
What they are." To my knowledge, Apollo Crews hasn't cut a promo about like, so sometimes I have these visions, and the most recent one I had was this. Like, if he had done that, then Grayson Waller, you're allowed to bring them up and the content of them. But it's fine that we see them at home because that's who our job is, the audience. You are another character on screen next to Apollo Crews. You can't see inside his brain. You're also not allowed to like. Are you saying that you watched the show, like from last week? So you saw the vision on NXT, but that's also fucking stupid. Like, I understand that once you delve into this whole thing, like, he has visions, and we, the audience, are allowed to see them. Once you've established that as a story construct, you can't just have other characters also in on it, because then is he projecting his visions into the camera so that we can see them, and that therefore other people who are also wrestlers can just watch the tape and also see those visions? Because that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, you have to.
Ultimately, you are a storytelling medium. You are a television show, and you need to abide by any kinds of rules of storytelling. Once you've just left that behind, well, then it's all fucking anarchy.
So, okay, I actually don't hate this. Matt Black bringing up that Apollo tweeted about them. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, I went back and watched the episode because I was studying my own work, whatever. You have to do the work creatively to tell me how you saw the visions happening then. You can't just assume that we know that
what's with all these visions, mate, is not like that's not enough work. Sorry. That's not enough work. Like here's the thing. This is why Lucha Underground worked so well. Because all the shit that happened backstage was a movie. Like, the people who weren't in the scene that happened in the locker room between Prince Puma and Mil Muertes or whatever, they didn't know it happened. The announcers didn't know it happened. Like, they could tell stories that were contained within themselves, and then they could bring those stories out into the ring if they so chose whenever they wanted to. This doesn't work at all.
This is such a weird example, but it is the first thing that popped into my head. Was like on the ROH pay-per-view they had when they were deciding between what the main event was going to be, Claudio and Gresham or the Briscoes versus FTR2. They said there was a coin toss backstage, and this is why the card is the way it is. With one line, complete justification of things. All you had to do was have, and it was weird, is normally they're actually good about, not always, but if it's a very simple thing to promote your own Twitter and say, he's Mr. Always on the apps, right? His life's about swipes and likes or whatever. You could have completely just had him say what Matt Black pointed out, which is like, I saw your Twitter feed. Seems like you're a little bit of a space cadet there, buddy. You're having these visions or whatever. Like, just do little things like that.
NXT tweets about them too, says Matt Better to One Jam Beard. And they actually
show
they actually show clips of the stuff that happened on the show because they are a Twitter account for a television show. But like, if we accept that these are things that happen inside Apollo Crews' brain, then Grayson Waller shouldn't know about them. I'm like, it's just I'm sorry to be a stickler on this, but like I took years of script writing classes, and so like I understand how this whole thing works, and it's just
guys, this is Alex's toxic trait. He
I'm
has
sorry.
to fix
It's my
it.
toxic trait. I can't get
Don't
away
be
from
sorry.
it.
It's why we love. I love it, but you have to live this way. That's the only thing.
Alex just did the Chewbacca defense. I forget, what is the Chewbacca
It's
defense?
Chewbacca. It does not make sense. It's on South Park during the
Okay.
OJ trial.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
That
don't
does
remember
not
it 'cause
make
I'm not-
sense.
It is Chewbacca. It does not make sense.
He's been to the Mountain of Omnipotence. Possibly.
Possible.
Although that would be the Mountain of Omniscience, which is where you are all knowing as opposed to all powerful.
Ooh.
So maybe
I would love it if
is there a
he was just
mountain
on
of
a drug trip.
omnipotence and a valley of omniscience? Maybe.
Where is it in relation to the island of relevancy? There's a lot of topography going on, and I need clarification.
Yeah, that's good. But anyway, so Apollo Crews calls him a less famous Miz, which is true. So Nurguru says, no. You said it wrong. Kate, care to correct him? He thinks he's somebody. He thinks what he does is revolutionary to wrestling business, when in reality, he's just a less famous Miz.
That would be quoting CM Punk about MJF.
So the battle to one, Jam Beard says, I'll do you one better. Why is Grayson Waller? And Valab says, I'll do you one even better. GTFO Grayson Waller. And also, he is an 18-month Fightful main roster member, and he is the longest reigning Fightful member.
The reigning, defending, undisputed champion of YouTube membership subscription.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate him. He also has gifted a bunch of them in the past, so I just appreciate that. Thank you.
The Battle to One Jam Beard says, of course, we had to wait until Papa H took over the main roster to make NXT canon on the main roster. That's true. Like Johnny Gargano, the first thing he does when he shows up is, so I was an NXT champion, 3-time you're a North American champion, tag champion, first ever Grand Slam champion. Like, so these are things that make me important because of the things I did at a brand that we own. It's not like people coming in and giving their Impact history. Like it's crazy that that's a revolutionary thing, that now we're allowed to talk about how we were, like Io Shirai and like they say, Io Shirai and Asuka, when they're in the ring together last night, two of the most dominant NXT women's champions of all time. Like, yes, why weren't we allowed to say that before? It's so weird.
It is so. I find it weird when people don't just acknowledge wrestling history outside of the company, but to do it to one of your own brands, one that you consider developmental, as in it was a stepping stone to get to the main roster, is the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah. Also, he keeps saying, like, Johnny Wrestling is too scared to come. I want Johnny Wrestling to show up by surprise one night in NXT when Grayson Waller's in the ring, come into the ring, beat the hell out of him, and say, thanks, everybody, bye. And that's it. And that solves the whole thing. Like, if you want to do a whole thing where he has a match versus Grayson Waller and beats the shit out of Grayson Waller, that's fine too. But all I needed for him to come in and basically just kick him in the face, or hit him with a chair a few times. Just get that done so that Grayson Waller can no longer ever do the, he's scared of me, he won't come to NXT because he knows I'm here. Like, I don't want him to be able to do that anymore. So,
yeah, I have no interest in seeing any of that. I just would rather Waller not mention his name ever again, and just never.
But apparently that you can't stop him from doing that. So we have to make it canon that he can't beat Johnny Gargano. I agree with you. I wish we could just get him to like stop mentioning it, but also,
what else does he have? Like, I don't even blame him.
Right. When they chant Johnny Wrestling at him, which they're going to do literally anytime he shows up, he'll be like, but he's scared. He won't come here. He's scared. And so we have to make sure that Johnny's not scared. Otherwise, it looks like he's scared. So that's why I want him just to show up one time. He lives in Orlando. Like he could just he could put the kid down for bed, make the drive 15 minutes or so, kick him in the face, and go back home to Candace. It's very simple.
There you go.
Be home in time to watch Mandalorian or whatever's on.
JW Pringle
says, JW Pringle says it's the butte of mediocrity as opposed to the mountain of omnipotence. And Ricardo the Wizard, excuse me, I'm sorry, Valab apparently telling tales out of school. Ricardo the Wizard says, I've been a member for 19 months.
Whoa.
So he's the longest. Valab versus Ricardo in a no-holds-barred steel cage match for who's the real, I don't know.
Subscription on a pole match.
Yeah. So Jay Pringle says, Chase, you were a PhD in thugonomics is $100 and can be accomplished in 4 Saturdays.
I love that.
Okay, so we get Javier Bernal, who is talking shit to the security guy. So Javier Bernal has been on Level Up for a while. And he has been he's the one who was talking shit to Cameron Grimes a couple of weeks ago. And then there was this big bearded security guy who was like, Mr. Grimes, no, it's not worth it. It's like, yeah, you're right, Hank. And he leaves. So we see Javier Bernal talking more shit to Hank, big bearded Hank. And that's earlier today. And then he has a match versus Cameron Grimes, and he gets his ass beat. Joe Gacy's up at the Raven's Nest, and since Papa H is back, I can call it that now. It's the Raven's Nest, and so he's watching the whole thing, and so Cameron Grimes is like, to prove it, like, nah, you're not in my head, Joe Gacy. I'm going to beat this Javier Bernal character with the quickness. And he does. Do you have anything to say about the match before I get into the next thing that made me go?
Not really. Like, there's no particular spots to call out. Yeah. I'll say this. I think it's a good use of people from Level Up. Like, that makes sense to let them dip their toe in the water in squash matches like this. You're not going to build out. This is not a spot for Cameron Grimes to be someone who you're going to have doing meaningful things here. So using people from Level Up who you want to be there in the future but aren't quite ready, that makes a lot of sense for someone to come up there and do this. I've seen Joe Gacy do good work on the indies.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that has happened on this no to all of this. No to the Joe Gacy character. No to Crystal and Young Vets being the ones that are involved in it now. Like, I just like, no. I also am like kind of spookied out on characters. Like, between House of Black as an actual House of Black and like, Bray Wyatt's gonna come back, so they're gonna have to like. It's too much spookiness for someone who gets burned out on one of those characters being in wrestling pretty easily. Mm-hmm. I don't need it, but I know what Joe Gacy's capable of, and it's more than this. I know what the Grizzled Young Vets are capable of, and it's more than this Tool Song angle. And Cameron Grimes should not be where Cameron Grimes went after a title shot. This is just silliness.
So later in the night, we see Javier Bernal walking through the break room. Because honestly, it just looks like a break room. I don't
The
know
what room?
what it is specifically, but it looks like a break.
How many Ks are in it though?
It's the Breakica room.
I think well, Braun Breaker's champion, it should be the Breakica room, and then when he drops, it just goes back to be the break room.
There's like a fridge in the back and a sink, and everyone just hangs out.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know who it was. I don't remember who this woman is, if I've ever seen her before, but she says, like, too bad you lost or something. And he just goes off on her, yells at her, until Hank shows up, security guy. And he's like, hey, you don't talk to women like that. What you can leave now. I'm gonna talk to this guy. You don't talk to a lady like that. There's no excuse. Why don't you get out of here? You go, leave. He's got a security shirt on. It says security on it. And then we hear Wade Barrett say, oh, it looks like we've got Javier Bernal versus Hank Walker in our future. And this is the first time that I knew that he had a name and that his name was Hank, because he's just been security dude. Obviously security dude who's like got a character, but I didn't know he was a name. And the idea that he says, looks like we're going to get Javier Bernal versus Hank Walker. Is NXT in the business of just granting match contracts to people who work there as security guards? Is that just a thing that happens all the time? Because apparently the way Barrett is just like second nature. It's like, yeah, obviously we'll see. So are all the security guards just off-duty level up stars? Is that what we're going to get at? Like, I know they are, really, but is that in canon for the television viewer at home? That like they switch between, like it's kind of like, you know how everybody needs two jobs to get by? NXT doesn't pay that well to their wrestlers. You got to moonlight as a security guard just to make ends meet, right?
I think Hank is the name of the security guard on The Office, so that just also made me laugh because I was just thinking of that guy the whole time. Yeah. But at the same time, this is just great character development of the NXT parking lot. Like, it's always been a dangerous place, and now
he's not Hank Walker, he's Hank Walker.
That is the tag team I never knew I needed.
Yeah.
But like, the NXT parking lot's always been a dangerous place, and now the security guards are going to be getting their butts kicked even further. Like, the long-term storytelling of the NXT parking lot is one of the most consistent stories in like all of WWE. I'm just glad that Wardlow is nowhere near them, because they would never have a career. They would just get squashed constantly. So thank God he's in AEW. But this was weird.
No wonder NXT parking lot security is rubbish.
Yeah,
because they're in there. Because he's inside white knighting girls hanging out in the break room. Like,
as a woman too, I would say,
is this guy bothering you? Is this guy bothering you? Like, that's what he's doing.
I would so much rather someone just be pissed that they lost a match than constantly being horny around me. That feels so much. You're like, well, that guy had a rough day. He lost a match. He got his ass handed to him. I don't want to like hang out with that dude, but I get it. As opposed to like, why is everybody hitting on me backstage?
Hank Walker, NXT Ranger. Tom LaValle says VSK is a butler now. He's the trust butler. Everyone needs two jobs. True.
That's a good point.
And Paco Taco says, how long till we see Wish.com Seth Rogen in a ring against Javier Bernal? I don't know if he's Wish.com Seth Rogen. He's like, if Seth Rogen, you remember how Kumail, what's the hell's his last name? Nanjiani, like was in a Marvel movie, and he like just got all roided out and super ripped, like the Pakistani comedian, and or Indian, whatever. That's basically what this guy is for Seth Rogen. Like, if Seth Rogen got into Marvel movies, like, just like, all right, I guess I'll take some steroids and just start pumping, just doing crazy bench presses. That's what this
I'm like having like visions of him in like a workout montage. It's about drive, it's about power style, but being like, your name is McLovin. That's awesome. Like, it has, I want it to be actually Seth Rogen.
Yeah, it should be. And as Javier Bernal walks away, he goes, prick. Hank Wagner goes, prick. So hey,
They're
we
both
got
kind of right.
we got Blair Davenport
We did.
versus Indy Hartwell. How did you think the match quality was, Kate?
Knowing what they're both capable of, I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, that was my thought.
It was kind of weird. Like I've seen Blair Davenport as Bea Priestley more than I've seen her as Blair Davenport do really, really great work. I know what Indy Hartwell is capable of. This didn't really click in. I think it might have just been stylistic a little bit. Blair Davenport's pretty hard hitting. But this looked like it was weird because it didn't look like anybody was trying to sandbag each other, but it didn't look like they were on the same page. You know what I mean? Like it didn't seem like there was intentional malice of not being able to get anybody's moves off, but it just was like almost like they didn't know what they were going for at a lot of points in this match. But post-match, I love what happened for both of them.
Well, yeah. Chris Mueller says, I'd watch Walker NXT Ranger before Level Up. That's true.
Yeah.
So I
think
Blair
Level
won.
Up being hard to find isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
That's not a TV
Blair beat Indy with what looked to be a very hard to do like sheer drop brainbuster thing. It didn't look clean. But she beat Indy clean, and then she got on the microphone and says, I was the number one contender in NXT UK. So it looks like I'm the number one contender here now because I just said it, so therefore it's true. My kingdom for anybody with any kind of authority on this show to determine things. Because you could just make matches, declare yourself a number one contender, and it's just true because it happened on television.
Guys, get your super chat and your humper chat typing fingers ready. Because I have a really big announcement here on my 1 year anniversary. Okay. It's my 1 year anniversary at Sour Graps. I've been here for a while.
Yeah.
I think we can agree that I've had some really good segues. I think the people like the community we've created. And I think I put in the time and the effort, and I think that I deserve a title shot. I think I'm at that point, and there's nobody around to tell me otherwise. So I am now number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. That's going to be a fatal 4-way. I have to get my butt on a plane. I know we have like a big weekend of shows that day, but please congratulate me, as I will be in that match and probably winning the title, because I feel like I have just as much claim as anybody.
Certainly as much as Blair Davenport has to the NXT Women's Championship.
Congratulations, Kate, on your title shot. Yeah. I'm so proud of you as your co-host.
No, yeah, I'm sure you'll win. But Mandy Rose comes out and says, "Hello, we haven't been properly introduced."
Best friends.
Well, as we saw at some point during this whole thing, I don't know when this happened. Is it in the rundown, Luis? Is it in the rundown? Put the Cora Jade thing in the rundown so I don't forget about it. Kate's character is that she is hot. That should be enough to make her.
She's leggy. She's a blonde onion. Poppy will write it, and it'll be a theme tomorrow.
So she says, hello, Blair. Your reputation precedes you, which is not what that's not at all
precedes
what
you.
Thing is. No, precedes. That's fine. We're not going to go into it, Mandy. It's fine. And then I'm Mandy Rose, and then she I don't know what she said, because who cares? I actually said to myself, man, are they really doing this without Mako? They can't do this match without Mako. They can't do like Blair. No, let me finish. Blair can't be the representative of NXT UK in this Worlds Collide thing, can they? Like, they can't, I know Mako never comes to the States for any reason whatsoever, but figure out a way to make that happen. And then Mako said Amores music hit, and I was like, well, hello, because this is a big friggin' deal.
So Mandy was on the verge of a good promo.
Was she?
I feel like she was dancing around because she was saying, like, put some respect on my name. I've been champion for a really long time. And she has a point in that she's held the title for basically the duration of NXT 2.0. She has a point in that. I know it's not believable. You know it's not believable. But she was dancing around this idea, and she has defended the title a number of times, unlike Toxic Attraction's tag team title reign. So she should be able to say, here's a list of the people I beat. You should respect me as a real champion. But she didn't. She just kept saying, put respect on my name. She's had successful title defenses. Like, just say that. Like, she was so close. So close to a promo that made sense and could have been meaningful.
I am done with the phrase being used by any professional wrestler. I am declaring a moratorium by any professional wrestler in any promo for the next 6 months. None of you get to say, put some respect on my name, because that's just a thing that everyone says over and over again. Like, there are other ways to say that. There are other ways to say that.
Since we can say wrestling in hospital now, I think you get to trade. I think you can't say put some respect on my name. You can't say balls, and you can't say, here's the sentence, bitch. You can say bitch in a promo, but it has to be like the way like Eddie says it or something. So we're going to start making trades for words from the banned wrestlers list.
Yeah. It used to be a thing that people would say was like, hey, this person's hip and cool because they use that phrase. You know, that phrase that, you know, all the hip and cool people use. And now literally everyone does it. So you'll hear multiple wrestlers use it in the same show. And it's just like, there's other ways of saying that. Jada Pringle says, adrenaline, Mandy Rose, something, no one cares. I'm thinking of Mandy Vader. Put some respect on Kate's bangs.
They deserve it.
Orion Ben says, I went, yeah, about the women's title. Then, oh no. So Meiko Satomura is she is known as the final boss for a reason. She is the most venerated and perhaps greatest women's wrestler of all time. Like, if you take into like longevity, like maybe your favorite current one will be there eventually, but it's going to take a lot to surpass Meiko Satomura.
Just waiting for LECs to say Sasha Banks. Oh, there we go.
I mean, like,
literally as I was saying it.
She's there. She's in the States for like the next 2 weeks. I don't care how much you have to pay people. You have to put her in the ring with Io or Asuka or Bianca or Bailey or Rhea or friggin' like call Sasha Banks and say, hey, I know it's like kind of crazy, but you should probably if you're going to show up for anything, Sasha, show up for this. Meiko Satomura versus Sasha Banks would be so good. Like, please don't let the only match she has stateside be losing her NXT UK title because Mandy Rose pinned Blair Davenport, which I friggin' guarantee you is the shit that's going to happen. It shouldn't, but yeah.
So I agree with you, except here's what I think should happen. Here's what they're going to do. Blair Davenport then steps in to say, what about me? I was the number one contender.
And so she's Meiko says triple threat. Meiko does it, which is in
Meiko
I'll take on all of you. I don't care. She's a badass.
So Blair's there to eat the pin. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
I would like Meiko to win and be your NXT Women's Champion.
Right.
I think Hunter has a very good track record with developing women's talent, especially from Asian countries. And I think you could do something really special and make that title feel very important again. I think what they're going to do is have Mandy Rose pin Blair Davenport. If you do that, just call it Mako, because you're right. She's been around the block, so you might as well have her main roster run now. She doesn't need NXT. I think NXT could really benefit from having her. But if you're gonna keep the stupid title on Mandy, just have her go to the main roster. There's no point in letting. What are you gonna do? Let her walk out of your company? Like, absolutely no way. So
she turns 43 this year. She might be
capitalize.
Like, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? She might be like, I'm ready to be done. She might. I don't know. I don't know anything about her own thing, but that might be a thing. She might be saying, I'm ready to go. And like, honestly,
I would suggest
after 27 years wrestling, she's allowed to decide when she hangs up the boots.
Sure. She's also I think she should also have the option to turn down a ton of money.
Yes.
I think she deserves the option to turn down a ton of money to fight Rhea Ripley, to fight a returning Charlotte Flair. Are you out of your mind? To fight Shayna Baszler? Like, there's so many matches. Never mind Io and Asuka. Saray is kicking around, right? Like, there's so many possibilities. I think she deserves the option to, I can keep doing this for a ton of money. I don't have to wrestle constantly. Or I can be done. Either one. But I think Triple H should be smart enough to offer her a lot of money to keep her around, even if she's just also like part training and whatever. Like, let her do that.
So you know how I say, and I keep saying it, if all 4 horsewomen are healthy, that is your main event of night 1 of WrestleMania this year. It is those 4 women in a 4 corners match because they all think they're the best wrestler ever. On the same night, I have been saying Rhea versus Bianca for the titles. And the winner of that faces the winner of the 4 horsewomen match on night 2. To say, okay, fine, you think you're one of the best, well, we think we're the best, and we're going to fight over these belts, which prove we're the best, and then you can come, whichever one of you survives, you can come find us on night 2, and we'll fight for these straps. Now I need this. I need Bianca versus Rhea versus Mako friggin' Satomura. The two women who are the future versus the woman who has been like the greatest of all time. Like, give me that triple threat. That's what I want.
Love that. I don't know what you do with Ronda Rousey, but I love all that.
I mean, Ronda Rousey. Who cares about Ronda? I'm booking my own personal WrestleMania. I know they do. But I'm booking my own personal WrestleMania.
With Hunter, what you said is very plausible. Rhea versus Bianca and the 4 horsewomen. That feels very, very plausible under Hunter. Much more than it ever would have under Vince.
Yeah. So we Battle One Champion says, give me Mako versus Asuka versus Io in a triple threat. Yeah, sure, why not?
Hell yeah.
Alexa Bliss gamer. What about Alexa Bliss? I like Alexa Bliss a lot. I don't feel like she's in that conversation. Personally, that's my own personal thing. She's very, very good.
I think she's very good. And I think one of the things she does best at is playing the other part of a tag team, no matter what personality she's paired with, very, very well. Put her and Nikki ASH back in a team like permanently. Or something like that. You know, she's obviously got her, like the role she's in right now, I think she's really, really good at. Like, that could be very, very fun. So I don't know. I think Alexa as a tag team wrestler is a great call. It's nice to have that problem. It's nice to be like, well, these women feel extremely important. What about these extremely important women?
So here's what they won't do this either, but here's how you get them all on the card. You have Alexa and Asuka who form a bond as in this tag team thing. They become tag champs and they face Ronda and Shayna, who have had their match, patched it up, and now they want the tag belts. And that's how you get all the women on the card at some point. That's how you get Ronda on there, but they won't do that because they think.
But then what about a meaningless battle royal that doesn't mean anything?
I think they'll probably do that as well. The Nerd Guru says never need to see Mako versus Charlotte, hard pass. However, Mako versus Becky, now we're talking. This is the thing. Mako being in the States now when Becky is hurt is so sad.
Sucks. That sucks so hard.
Such a great match.
That's actually my of anybody that we said. It's like that or Shayna would be my favorite. But
yeah,
I also think you're nuts if you don't want to see Mako and Charlotte in the ring together. I get not wanting to see the promos to get you there. Seeing that between the ropes would be phenomenal.
Yeah, hard pass on me too. I do not enjoy Charlotte in the ring anymore. I just don't. I just don't anymore. Like it's just it's unfortunately because I used to be a defender of hers in the ring, and now I can't even do that anymore.
I'm very intrigued to see what her return looks like under Triple H because I think and it's not professional, so I don't defend it at all. I think part of the lag in her in-ring performance was because the women's roster was getting treated like crap. And so now that there's exciting fresh matchups there, I wonder if we're going to see her. And she's had time off. She did not have a lot of time off. Sometimes people need time off. So, I'm intrigued. I'm cautiously optimistic. Sometimes people need new wind in their sails, and I hope that's the case with her.
Henry TKC says, "Is Mandy or Blair driving the poop train?" I think it's more likely that they have Blair there to take the pin from Mandy because they think Mandy anchors the women's division. Because here's the thing, for me, if Mako wins and is the NXT Women's Champion, you have her there to wrestle some people and then eventually lose to who? If Toxic Attraction moves up, lose to Roxanne Perez. Maybe that would be an interesting story of like the real future versus Naoko Satomura, like who's been there forever. That honestly is great. I think it's gonna be like, we'll see what we do with that. I think that they think Mandy needs to be there to make the division work. I think is what they think. But
I think regardless of whether it's Miko or Mandy, I think, and this is tricky because we already went to this well, but because it's Hunter, I think either way Roxanne Perez is who takes the title off of whoever's next. I think Hunter rewrites the story to get you there and doesn't screw it up the way that they did this last time. It just makes the most sense because Roxanne is still super young despite outkicking her coverage by a lot. She needs the TV time. She's got a lot of ways to grow, even though she's already fantastic. And I think the belt can help her do it. And I think you got to capitalize on her while her popularity is what it is. So either way, I think Roxanne is next.
Yeah. I think Roxanne should be next. The Nurguru said it last week and just repeating. Mandy beating Mako would be an afternoon that wrestling died. Blair is added, which means Blair is taking that L from Mandy. That still sucks. Mako is a literal goat, and she's going to lose to Mandy, technically. I hate it here. And the Batted at One Jam Beard has one of my favorite chats ever. I saw a thing trending on Twitter today about two sets of twins marrying each other, and their sons are both brothers and cousins, and that makes more sense than if Mandy beats Mako.
That definitely makes more sense than the end of the the tag matches. I'll say that. Yeah. But if it was one-on-one, I'd have a bigger problem with it. If Blair takes the pin, that's a lot better. I still don't love it, but it's a lot better to have a third person there to take the fall.
Yeah. That's definitely way better than having her pin Mako.
Yeah.
So JD McDonough cuts a promo about how he likes pain and he's built up his pain tolerance for Braun Breaker, and I'll see you again soon. And then the camera turns around and we realize he's been hanging upside down the whole time. And Wesley and the TikTok tag team were watching this and going, "Ooh, wow, spooky. I don't like that. Hey guys, creepy. Creepy. Was that all that happened? I mean,
this was
I don't know.
Weird and dumb. He basically said he's still going for Braun Breaker, and I was like,
yeah, he did.
Mick, don't run this back. I don't want to see this again. This was weird. Before we knew what we know
run
about
this back.
Mick, don't
run this back.
Mick, don't.
Yeah.
Like, isn't he kind of in the Pete Dunne, Marty Scurll before we knew what we knew about Marty? Well, I guess birds of a feather in some ways. Like, he's in that vein. So why is he hanging upside down and bringing, like, dummies out to the ring and telling people how many people die of choking on popcorn? Just have him go fight people. This is weird.
It's weird. Orion Ben 666 says 3 months ago we aren't having this women's division talk.
Yes, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah. Nicholas 763 says should the women's triple threat main event, regardless of whether or not it should. We know for a fact it won't. So, correct. Yeah, no, Braun versus Tyler Bate is main event.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Batted a One Jam Beard says, hear me out. WrestleMania Night 1 is Mako versus Asuka versus Io for the Raw Women's title. Blair versus Rhea for the NXT Women's title. Night 2 is 4 Horsewomen for SmackDown title. And Bliss Nikki versus Ronda Shayna tag titles. I mean, sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah. So, then we find out, after all of this, that Indy's just been hanging out as ringside, and then she cuts a promo about how everything sucks and everything's terrible, and maybe it's all my fault.
Our thing.
It's our thing.
Everything sucking is our thing.
Yeah, she stole it from us, and she says, "Oh, but maybe it's all my fault. Maybe I don't deserve to have good things happen to me." And then Dexter shows up, and it's beautiful. And they crawl across the ring to each other, the way that Dexter does, and then they kiss.
I was looking for my veil.
And then he carries her off up the ramp, and I tweeted out, "True love wins." It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And then I had to have an addendum. True love wins, except for when True Love gets arrested for kidnapping the Miz, because that's a tough one. That True Love wins except for that. So Kayfabe Smaygrave says, "What the fuck is wrong with me? I literally have tears in my eyes seeing InDex reunite. I don't think I've ever wanted a kayfabe wrestling relationship to be real more than this one." It's beautiful. He gives her a note, and then he walks out of the he backs out of the thing with his hands raised, and there's like the lights flashing with the cop cars, and he turns himself in. He gives himself up to be arrested. And you see on the thing it says, "Goodbye, Indy." In parentheses, for now, I heart you forever, Dexter. So this man kidnapped The Miz in Toronto. I hope The Miz is in the trunk of a car somewhere just over the border in the woods somewhere in Ohio. And then he stole another car and drove all the way overnight to Orlando, because there's no way they let that guy get on a flight. That guy's definitely on several watch lists. He's an international criminal now because he committed crimes in the States and then traveled to Canada to kidnap The Miz. So I hope
this is a stolen car too.
Absolutely. No,
100%. Out for him. Yeah.
So he's driven overnight all the way to Orlando to see InDex, to tell her that he loves her and that she needs to wait for him because he's going to go to prison for a long, long time. And by that, I mean the main roster. Wait, no, it's good now. I'm sorry. That joke doesn't work anymore. But I love that he's getting arrested now for the third time in 3 weeks. And he'll just be on Raw next week and it'll be fine. Nobody will talk about it because, there are no such things as rules that govern anything. So
I actually, even before Dexter came back, really liked this promo for a few reasons. One, I like that Indy Hartwell acknowledged where she's at, that things have not been going well for her. I liked her putting over Blair Davenport, saying, Indy said that she's at rock bottom and it's not Blair Davenport's fault. She's really good and she's probably going to go and unify the titles. I thought that was great. That made the number one contender feel like they might have a shot at the title. Mm-hmm. That's a really, really good promo. And then, of course, InDex, shut up, reuniting, caught me off guard, which I liked. I'm wondering if, and I don't normally like this, but I'm wondering if we get Maurice and The Miz versus InDex as Indy's main roster call-up feud. I kind of don't hate it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't say it's Miz and Maurice. InDex is not wasted in that the way some top wrestlers would be. Like it's beneath them, but for them, I feel like that's a thing they can add to it. This really weird, odd couple who's she's so in love with him, even though he's obviously a serial killer. That's a fun little thing you can do. That replaces all the bullshit they do with the 24/7 division. If every week we look in and see what funny thing are InDex doing out on a date in whatever city they're in, that could be fun, honestly, because I feel like the people who are involved in that have good ideas and maybe they'll be allowed to contribute. I think that could be good. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what the plans are. The fact that he says goodbye, he's not taking her to the main roster with him.
I know that's what I initially
left her behind. Nicholas 763 says, as much as I love InDex, I don't think Indy is anywhere near close for the main roster call up. She botches a lot and is not good at selling moves. Listen, Dana Brooke is on the main roster, so Indy will be fine.
I like Indy.
That's
I think
all.
she's good. I think she's ready. If they're not going to give her the title, you might as well call her up.
Yeah, right. The porn bots.
Bailey's dying to fight her.
They love.
They do. The porn bots love. And
the Battle of One Jam Beard says, Alex, remember that I told you Johnny is going to be merging his families into DIY way. We're getting closer to it now. Yeah, except he kicked Austin Theory in the face last night, and it was awesome. Can he merge all of his families except for that one? For that particular...
That would actually...
Can he disown his son?
Hatred of Austin Theory aside, that's also a fun story. Legit. To be you're the black sheep of the family, you're out of here is a fun... I would take that story any day of the week.
Sure. Hey, Cora
This is actually what you meant to say.
Right. There you go. Aaliyah's on the main roster. Yeah. Hey, so Cora J got interviewed. It's hey, so what? So what? So yeah, I did it. But I DAT'd her onto the kendo stick. So what? Any of you who think that should have been a disqualification, you're all virgins. Go have sex with a girl. Anyway, I'm a heel because I wear black. Bye. She can't do this, guys. Stop asking her to. She's not equipped for this character right now. It doesn't work. It's really cringy. I don't know what you think you're doing with her, but it's not working.
I think the thing that I feared, they also feared of Cora Jade and Roxanne might be a little bit too much in the same vein. And so they were like, we need to turn Cora heel. And this has been terrible. Her trajectory has gotten really screwed up. Around Halloween Havoc, the story they were telling with her was good. Or at least logical. It at least made sense. She was scrappy as hell. She was fighting through injuries to try and give her team the victory. There was something, the underdog story they loved to tell. She was telling it, and it was on a logical path. And now, this feels way, 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 way off base. They need to go back to the drawing board with her. This is terrible. I have not for a second bought her heel turn, partly because the avenue to get there was so convoluted with the tag titles, I think. She was kind of not, out of the gate. They kind of shot her in the foot with this, but she is just not believable as a heel whatsoever. This is really, really bad.
Ryan Ben asking if it was a street fight, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. If it was, it would have been even more inexcusable for Roxanne to not use the kendo stick. Can you imagine if it was a no DQ match and she still refused to use the kendo stick? No,
I know it's within the rules, but no.
I want to do it the right way. She'd be even more like Bailey in that terrible match. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Better One Jambeer says, yes, Alex, no theory. Johnny is a mastermind. He sent Loomis to free Ciampa from The Miz. It's all part of the plan. Maybe. I don't know.
No, I think Johnny should be on his own, to be honest.
I do too.
Let him be a single star for a bit.
Thomas DeWitt says, I think they're trying to make Cora Jade a character like Paige and it's not working. I think they're trying to make her half Paige, half AJ Lee, and it's not working. Like,
no.
It's just, no.
Not even close. Paige was at her best as a face, too. I feel like.
She was. So Legado has their first match as without Santos against the Dyad, and Tony's out there. He's like, "What are you doing? Stop flipping! No more of this flippy do shit. No more of this jumping around. What are you guys doing? You gotta stay grounded.
Knew Jim Cornette was here in the disguise of Tony D'Angelo.
Listen, I've been listening to that Jim Cornette, and I think he's got a lot of good ideas.
He's got some good points over there.
He got some good points in that podcast thing over there. So I think we should probably not do any jumping around stuff. And so then they end up losing to the Dyad, to GYV. And Cameron Grimes is standing at the Razor's desk, shirtless and menacingly looking down at them. And so, like, I guess he's like, you guys can watch my match while I'm going to watch yours or whatever. Then Tony is like, what are you guys doing? You guys were jumping around all over the place, and because you did that, you lost the match. Nah, I don't like that. And why don't you go hit the showers? I don't remember him having a problem with the way they wrestled for the several weeks where they were in his employ before. Like, this was a new thing. They just like
about in the same vein, but not quite as when Santos was in a match, I think, before. Like, he was at commentary like, well, that didn't work. Yeah. What are you doing? So, not fully. But this was straight up Jim Cornette. This made me laugh.
Yeah. Jim Cornetenzo.
Hey.
Jimmy Cornetenzo. So this is not what made no sense to me. Here's the deal. I am all for Legado going up to the main roster as a full unit, all of them. I think it's great. I think it's great for the main roster, whatever the show they end on. It's great for them as a group. I think it'll be awesome for Santos to have those guys. His guys as his backup. I think that's all great. They're walking in the parking lot, and this luxury SUV pulls up, and it's Santos inside. He says, "You didn't really think I was going to leave without you guys, did you? Get in." And they do, and they drive off. Why even introduce a stipulation that if Santos loses, he's not allowed to bring them with him to the main roster, if you're then just going to book him to lose the match and then take them with him to the main roster anyway? What kind of sense does that make?
None.
Just don't book that stipulation. I love him going up there with them. But you deliberately added that bit in at the end. And then just said, just kidding, doesn't matter. Rules don't exist. rules that we made up don't exist. What the hell are you doing?
So I have a theory. It was supposed to be Santos and Los Lotharios. And the reason I have this theory is not only because of what we saw tonight, but also because we saw Hit Row come and rap an entire musical number with Maximum Male Models to kick off a feud. Whereas days beforehand, it was set up that Maximum Male Models and Los Lotharios were going to be feuding. So methinks that was the original plan, was to have Massey, Mansois, and Max Dupree against Los Lotharios and Santos. And then maybe they said, no, let's bring up the entire Active Legado. That is purely something that I decided and made up. That isn't anything Sean said. Everyone always thinks it's something Sean said. It wasn't. However, while this made no sense, I thought the way it was done was real cute. I thought Santos's face
cute.
was adorable. And they all got in Dad's car and they went off to the main roster together. And the Performance Center fans did a nice legato chant, which I thought was good. So while it makes absolutely no sense the way it went down, what I saw in front of me, I was quite charmed by tonight. So I'm excited to see what happens on the main roster.
That was very cute. I like that a lot. And it's kind of cool that he wouldn't leave without his familia. That is cool. But then what you do is you have him lose the match to the Santos and have him try to leave with them. And Tony Deegan, I'm like, whoa, what the hell do you think you two are going? No, you stay here. You still work for me. I get out of here. You stick around. And then it's not the rule they have to stay. They just feel like they can't leave because they still work for him, and he says stick around. Then you have this exact same scene, and then there's no problem. There's literally no problem. It does not make sense for you, the writers, the producers of the show, to set up rules if you're just gonna break them. I don't know why we're doing that.
It's like they think they can wave a magic wand over everything.
It's like they can do that. But magic doesn't exist, Kate. Magic doesn't exist.
Alex, magic does exist, but it doesn't exist
that's
in a
poppycock.
If magic doesn't exist, explain this to me. Explain a delicious cereal that you can have in the morning that is protein-packed and not filled with sugar. Because darn it, Alex, it's true. It exists, and Sean Ross Sapp is here to tell you all about it.
Do you like cereal but hate all the junk that's associated with it? Well, MagicSpoon.com/Fightful has you covered. Save $5 off your order when you get a custom bundle, custom box right now. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs per serving. Only 140 calories per serving. Keto-friendly, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and gluten-free. And right now you can build your own box. Not just right now, anytime. Blueberry, cinnamon, honey nut, maple waffle, cookies and cream, cocoa fruity frosted peanut butter. All the flavors you loved growing up. And how about this? A money-back guarantee. If for some reason you don't like it or you just want your money back, MagicSpoon.com/Fightful does that. Not only is it great in the mornings, it's great for a snack throughout the day, a midnight snack as well, without having all those carbs and unhealthy parts of cereal. MagicSpoon.com/Fightful.
God, we fucking crushed that.
It was so good. We were so good. We're so good at it.
It felt right. We're so good at this, Alex.
Here we are. Here's what makes me even angry about this. Okay.
What does?
If Fabian Eichner was still with Walter,
we
could get the Bloodline versus Imperium versus Legado del Fantasma. Maybe the Bloodline is bulletproof and would be fine against one of them. But if they're getting it from both sides, from two of the best 3-man factions in the game, holy shit, wouldn't that be great?
And Alex, they would have to bring in a ringer, a difference maker, a blonde Uso to come in
They would have
and
to
create an imbalance in the numbers. It would be so good.
They would have to do
So
that,
good.
but they don't really. Nurguru says Santos to Roman after the clash. Hola, perro grande. This is my familia's table now, and then walks away.
I love it.
That's good. Yeah, I like that a lot. Hey, Von Wagner was like, I don't care about this Tyler Bate. I'm gonna beat him because I don't care if he says he's a big, strong boy. Well, I am a big, strong man, and men are bigger than boys, and so I am going to beat this big, strong boy because I'm a big, strong man. Here, watch me beat him. And then he lost. Tyler Bate gave just enough offense to the big guy to make him look like he was in peril for a few seconds, and then he beat him anyway because Tyler Bate is much better than Von Wagner.
Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to tell me. It's been weeks, months at this point. Someone has to tell me one redeeming quality of either, preferably both, Mr. Stone and Von Wagner. I cannot get over the uselessness of a manager who does not set up good matches for you, who doesn't interfere at ringside, and also isn't speaking for you because now you're ripping the mic out of his hand, and he wasn't really saying anything useful anyway, and kept talking about your previous sports career and your hypothetical one that you could have outside of wrestling if you chose to stick with football. I cannot think. This guy, he shared a locker room with Malcolm Bivens. He's in the same company as Paul Heyman's. You can go back and watch YouTube clips of Bobby Heenan. What is the point of a manager? I am supposed to believe that Von Wagner is giving this guy a cut of his money to do what? What is he doing for him? Literally nothing. Nothing.
But Kate, Von Wagner is a leggy blonde.
First of all, I mean, my God, how dare you put us in the same category? Second of all, they got rid of the OG leggy blonde, so he would even just be a diet leggy blonde.
Yeah.
He had one good fall away slam in this match. Nice.
Yeah.
Every match is the same of his because he can't do quite much.
I want to know if this was true. A Shock says there was a guy in the crowd heckling Vaughn, calling him Vern Wagner, which means that's the person who watches our show, which I think is awesome.
Were you at the show?
I was not at the show.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so big strong boy hit a spinning boy, which is his little spinning plancha thing, and so that's good.
That was cool looking. That's a really, really cool move. It looked good on him.
No, none of these things are going to happen. I'm really sorry you don't enjoy our show, but this is who we are. I'm so sorry.
It's called Sour Graps.
I know.
If Hunter gets in charge of it the same way he's in charge of Raw, and it gets better, we will talk about the good stuff. And the main event was great.
Main event was great. We'll get to the main event. Like that. Yeah. So there's one thing. Like, listen to the deal. I'm always going to be honest and say what I actually think. But like, I overly critical. I don't know how you can watch things and just be like, just watch it and enjoy it. God, what a horrible way to like not have anything that in your brain that makes you go like, this could be better. I wish it was better. Oh, hey, here's how it could be better. I love watching things that are all great, but that very rarely happens. Even when I love an episode of AEW, watch that post show. This thing that isn't great, I'll still say, hey, this thing wasn't great though. And here's how I think it could be better. Like, that's just who I am. And I don't know how to watch things and be like, well, I guess it's fine because I'm watching it.
I think we do a good job of it never being unfounded criticism. It's very rarely, I don't like this talent, and it's very rarely I don't like this. Like, we distinguish between fundamentals and taste, which I think is important. Like, there's things that make wrestling sense that I just don't like because it's not my taste. And then there's things that just don't make any wrestling sense. NXT is usually makes no sense, i.e. the finish of the tag titles match tonight. And there's a lot of stuff that's not my taste, i.e. horny backstage segments and Brooks and Jensen. Yeah. But the main event was my taste. I loved that tonight.
It's officially midnight, so it's officially happy anniversary. 1 year.
Thank you. Happy 1 year anniversary to all y'all.
Best decision I ever made.
Oh,
I will say that.
Thank
So
you.
true.
That means a lot because you're why I subscribed to Select in the first place. I wanted to see your post shows, so to then get to come on here and do this is like the most fun a gal can have.
Battle of One Jam Beard says if Triple H takes over NXT again, the show might become sweet and sour graps. We'll always find, like, nothing's ever perfect. So whatever isn't, whatever can be better, we'll say this could be better, and I will try to do this is how it could be better. That's what I always try and do. Like there's happy 1 year. Let's have several more. Absolutely, more and more and more of these.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, so earlier in the night we got Yes Boys talking crap to Gallus, and then we got Double West and the Beach coming in, and Roddy trying to be like, "Hey, yeah, that's right." And like, "What do you? I don't trust you. We're not your friends." And so there's going to be Diamond Mine, not Roddy though, versus Gallus in a 6-man next week. They're also going to be Yes Boys and Lash Legend versus the Redneck Boys, Double Vest of the Beach, and Horse Girl. And there's going to be two 6-person tag matches next week. That'll be a thing.
None of which involve a horse lawyer, which is just disappointing.
10 more years. 10 more. I'm going to be in my mid-50s. So they're teasing a title unification. That unification's happening. I prefer it to not involve Double Vest in the Beach unless they are also in it along with at least one actual UK tag team. That's what I would say.
That would be nice.
The lights out match was not a when the lights go out and come back on, anything that happens is legal and we can't do it. It's unsanctioned. They literally just turned the lights out, which I think is a wonderfully NXT 2.0 version of a lights out match. We'll just turn out the lights and then
excuse me, and you'll wrestle in the dark. For a brand that is normally so brightly lit, you can see the audience's knees. To just turn off the lights was weird. It was a weird choice. And I was like, that's not how lights out matches work, to my knowledge.
Right. Yeah. Nerd Guru says, respectfully, Wendy Choo out of the onesie is really cool and probably some nice comfy jammies. Yeah, she got out of the onesie to wrestle for the first time in like some little boy shorts and a button-up short sleeve pajama top. And she wrestled Tiffany, who actually I liked her little interview backstage earlier in the night. I thought she's really progressing with the character. She's got really long, like weird, like pink and blonde braids. It was a very interesting look for her.
That was weird. That is not Toodles, girl.
No, this match was a lot of fun. Had all big crazy spots. Everything seemed to be building up to. There was a bed at ringside because of course there was, because Wendy Choo. They took the mattress off and it was like, oh, I'm going to put you through the bed instead of the table. It's going to be through the bed. And then there was Wendy Choo got her big body pillow, smacked Tiffany in the face with it, And there were a lot of big time near falls in here too. I did not know who was going to win. And then she realized, oh, it's not actually a body pillow. Inside, it's full of Legos. And she pulled Legos all over the bed, all over the mat, like they were thumbtacks, which I thought was really funny. Ricardo the Wizard, our 19-month member, says, Legos on the floor in the dark is my hell. That's not good.
I know deathmatch wrestlers that have said that's one of the most painful spots they've ever taken is Legos.
Mm-hmm.
No joke.
Good. No, it's
that
not. It's
stuff
not,
hurts.
Yeah, it does. Luis Villarreal says, top 2 of women's lights out matches on TV ever. I think there's only been the one. So, yes, this definitely falls in the category. Eventually, we got Wendy Choo, who never transformed into Dragon Choo instead. That's too bad. But I know it makes you happy, but it makes all the rest of us sad.
I know. They knew it was my 1-year anniversary.
They were doing it for you.
Sweet.
So eventually we got Wendy Choo on the outside, putting Tiffany Stratton through the bed. I've been put through a bed a few times, and Minoru Suzuki did it once to me in the 80s. And let me tell you, I cannot recommend it highly enough. But anyway,
so bad.
I am.
Bad. Let's pull up a picture of that young Minoru Suzuki. Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do.
He was a dreamboat.
He was
still is, really.
Still is.
But my goodness.
That's my murder grandson right there. Look at him. He's just gorgeous. Look at him. Oh my! Look at the jawline and the hair. He's the cheekbones.
That sent me.
Yeah.
That sent me.
Wendy Choo wasn't even her final form. It's true. Yeah.
You guys
really, Brian said we didn't get Dragon Choo, but we did get a Lego death match. We got a Lego death match, which is instead of the Dragon Choo, we got a Lego death match. Okay? They're saving it for the Rumble. They're saving it for my actual booking, which is when she gets to be 3 Faces of Karen.
Just let her be a person. But I was surprised because I was like, why else have a lights out match? And then they were like, because we feel like turning out the lights for the whole thing. It's just weird. Very weird.
And then she was able
to win
with her great match. A lot of fun. I really love that they gave them the main event slot.
Yes.
Even especially since it wasn't actually a lights out match, because an actual lights out match requires it to be the main event because then everything that happens after the lights come back on is unsanctioned. So, but I love that they did it this way. This was great. Wendy Choo hit her splash off the top rope with like a Vader bomb, basically off the top rope, not the middle rope. I thought that was really good.
Yes.
And it was good. Stratton. I thought Stratton was going to go over because they have more involved with her going forward, but Wendy Choo is a giant fan favorite, and they let everybody go home happy, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think as far as women who were as green as Tiffany Stratton is, like we've seen women make marginal jumps, bigger than marginal jumps, make some pretty significant jumps. But a lot of them had like a ton of indie wrestling experience or whatever. Tiffany Stratton is one of the fastest developing people that we've seen as like a performance center wrestler. And this is an entirely different test than anything else we've seen her in. And I've said it over and over again, but I'll say it again here. Her ring IQ is progressing the same rate as her skill set and ability within the ring of connecting moves and making them look more natural. And that's really encouraging to see because that means she's also thinking in terms of efficiency in telling the story. Everything having an intention is something that makes a wrestling match separates good and great wrestling matches, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's just very, very encouraging to see. And that comes with a lot of hard work. There's no way around it, right? Like that only comes with a lot of hard work. So good on her. This was a completely different test than we've seen, a women's match in NXT in a really long time that I can think of. Like probably nothing under the 2.0 brand has been something as kind of like weird or specialized as this. So good on her for passing that test with flying colors. Definitely not taking away anything from Wendy Choo. I think I just always expect these types of performances out of her because we know she's so beyond capable. She was fantastic in this. I love that finisher as well. But this was a really, really fun thing to go home on a very mixed bag of an episode, especially when it's this weird of a match. You don't know what you're going to get. But these two ladies, I thought, killed it to close the show. And it's nice. It's really nice to see that kind of progress when you watch a developmental brand like this. That's one of the fun things is you feel like you're along for that developmental journey when you do see progress like that. So it's nice to see that specific type of payoff when it's not a payoff of the story or a character change or whatever. Like this is literally just her progress coming to life. So that's really nice. That's really good to see.
Yeah. I fully agree. It's really Brian says that the guy at work that hit my car has the same haircut as the beach. I'm in Central Florida, so maybe they go to the same barber. I think a lot of people in Central Florida probably have that particular haircut.
It's very possible.
So here we go. We're going to get all these sour chats, super chats, and humper chats, and then we're going to get to the jukebox, which has some good stuff in it. NCB says, hi, Alex and Kate. It seems like NXT is even more disconnected from the HHH than ever before. Things are making even less sense than he came back. I mean, I think he's like, Sean, I trust you. That's not a great idea.
Huge mistake. Huge mistake. I don't think it makes less sense. I think we've seen very fast improvement in other spots of the company. And so this just feels like a bigger contrast against those things.
Yeah. Amasito Gomez says, Choo has more going on than Xia Li and Boa. That's very true. Yeah, she's great. I really love Wendy.
Yes.
She's got all crazy range. The bad little one, Jam Beard says, make Survivors Series a tri-brand event again and have the draft as the stakes for the pay-per-view. Well, like I always thought, like if you're gonna have I always thought you should have the draft after Survivor Series. And I think that what you get if you're a sole survivor, you get to pick what brand you're on.
Well,
I think that could be like, you know, hey, you're great. Like yeah, I know. You know, or like you're one of the top picks or whatever, like whatever it is, like you're one of the, if you're one of the survivors, you get to pick wherever you go. So Battle One Jam Beard says, I could never be able to upstage Killer Kate. No.
That was from before with my segues. I think I got him back on the second segue though. That was a good one tonight going into Magic
Paul Elizabeth says, among the Elizabeths, Bob's her uncle.
My Uncle Bob is staying with him tonight.
Yeah. I am La Lucha says, hey, my favorites, just here to celebrate being a wine enthusiast's future 40 of 2022 and the Yanks sweeping the Mets. And happy 1 year, Kate. Love the new do.
Thank you so much.
Taylor Cannon says, much love and respect to you all. Thankful for this chat and both Alex and Kate. Alex, I hope your daughter's enjoying school. She's loving it. Kate, thanks for being awesome. SGS for life. Paul Elizabeth says, happy anniversary to Miss Kate Elizabeth. May Team Kalex, the Council of Marks, and our shining light, JW Pringle, prosper throughout the next year. Absolutely.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, so we got, here we go. So hold on, I'm gonna find this over here. Okay, we got one here from I'm La Lucha, who says, I'm an hour or so behind, so I apologize. But I got to say, Matthew Plus is the Tyrus of the SGS. None of us understand why he's getting a push. Also, a nickel to hear Billy Rigo dude Lizzo about damn time.
Okay, I mean, just across the board, an incredible super chat, but I now cannot think of a greater insult than what you just said about Matthew Plus.
That's good. Here we go. Anyway, it's bad bitch o'clock. Yeah, it's thick 30. I've been through a lot, but I'm still flirty. Is the man with the mask? Hello. If anybody back up in the building, it's been a minute. Tell me how you're healing, because I'm about to get into my feelings. How you feeling? How you feel right now? Oh, I've been so down and under pressure. I'm way too fine to be this stressed. Yeah. No, I'm not the girl I was or used to be. Bitch, I might be better. Turn up the music. Turn down the lights. I've got a feeling I'm going to be all right. Okay, all right. It's about damn time. Turn up the music. Let's celebrate. I've got a feeling I'm going to be okay. Okay. All right. It's about damn time.
You're not going to do the dance?
I don't know the dance. I don't know the dance.
I can't believe William Regal doesn't know TikTok dances. Startling. The startling revelation.
Okay, good. Now, it's really Brian says 1 year and 1 day ago was TakeOver 36, which I was there for. Grimes versus LA Knight, Dakota versus Raquel, Ilya versus Walter, Cole versus O'Reilly, Joe versus Cross. Since those were better times, can Walter sing the theme from Happy Days? Yes, Walter can sing the theme from Happy Days. Hold on. Yes, he can if I can get the lyrics.
It's been a minute since we had a Walter.
Yeah, here we go. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Rocking all week for you. These days are, won't you be mine? These days are, oh, please be mine. Hello, sunshine, goodbye, rain. She's wearing my school ring on her chain. She's my steady, I'm her man. I'm going to love her all I can. These days are mine. Happy days. I am the Intercontinental Champion. That's it. There you go. Thank you. Oh my God. The battered one. Hold on. Jam Beard says this one is dedicated to the Cease ladies. Can we get Alex doing Eddie Kingston singing "Banger, Banger, Banger" by Mr. Weeb? All right.
I can't believe it's not Jack Harlow if it's for the Cease gals.
All right. But Badger. You mean banger, banger, banger,
Badger.
Badger. I don't know.
Badger.
Badger. Okay, here we go. Who's this now?
I don't know if I feel good about the Cease twins getting like their own requests. My God, what superstars? They're gonna take our jobs.
Badger. Partner. Mushroom. A badger, partner. A badger, partner. Badger, partner. Mushroom. What the fuck is this? A badger. Mushroom. A badger. A snake. A snake. Oh, a snake. It's a snake. You're a snake, Chris. Chris, you're a snake. You're a snake.
My man.
Chris. You're a snake, Chris. Punk. You're a snake, punk. I'm a badger. I'm a honey badger. I'm gonna tear you apart, Chris. Partner. That's all.
That was very good. Do you not know the Badger song?
No, I've never heard the Badger.
Badger.
I don't know what that is. I never heard that song before in my life.
We'll hook you up after the show.
Meat Enormous says, happy anniversary, Leggy Strawberry Blonde Onion. Happy belated Taco Tuesday, Alex. I'll let you two let me know when to start watching NXT again. Cheers. Yeah, we'll definitely drop you a line.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Annika Wilson says, Santos kindly kidnapped Legado full circle. It's true. Full circle. Because he kidnapped them in the beginning to make them part of his little
that's right.
trio, you know? He says, can I get Regal singing Nuck If You Buck by Crime Mob? Happy anniversary, KLX. Here we go.
I love the suspicion that you approach with.
I don't know if I'm going to have to. Apparently, Luis has done all the editing for me, so that's nice.
Luis is incredible. My God.
Knock if you buck boy. 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 This is your boy, Little Scrappy. Knock if you buck boy. Knock if you buck boy. The Prince of Crunk. Knock if you buck boy. Yeah. Knock if you buck boy. Knock if you buck boy. Knock if you buck boy. It's yes. I'm a gat toting, pistol holding suckers on your damn street. Stomping, jumping, bumping, and we crunk off in this damn thing. Throwing them bows up at these hoes. They screaming, they bleeding from their nose. But when we start to swing, we make them suckers hit the flow. Ain't no game off of this thing. We be deep off in your party. Crime Mob suckers get it started. Ellenwood suckers be the hardest. Knock if you buck boy. Ad nauseum. It just repeats. So, war games.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mine too.
This is so ridiculous. Oh no. NCB says, I would like to hear William Regal singing Booker T by Bad Bunny.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Oh, this is you trying to get me to do William Regal's Spanish. Hold on. Just the second chorus and outro. Okay. Second chorus. Okay. Estoy en mi pic, cabrón. Y voy a seguir en mi pic, cabrón. En se soy un rey campeón. Booker T. Booker T. Estoy en mi pic. Estoy Evo a seguir en mi pic. Mírame, K2K. K2K, na, cabrón, tú eres feca. Can you dig it, sucker? Ni voy a frontear. Dale a repeat, cabrón. Pa que veas que estoy bien, hijo de puta. Man with the mask, you saucy minx, you.
My
War
goodness.
Games.
War games.
Okay. You understand the bit, feeling dreepy. Could we please get Linda singing Over the Rainbow, but she forgets the lyrics halfway through and starts making her own up? That's basically the bit.
These are now customs.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Oh, so high.
So high. It's
so
way
high.
Up there. Like if you're gonna go over the rainbow, that's very high up. I don't like heights myself. So
no, remember when we went to the top of the Empire State Building? You were a disaster.
I got catatonic. I blacked
froze.
out. I woke up in the cab.
You froze.
Anyway, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream. Well, what I've heard. Have you heard? They come true. If you
I've
dream
heard
on it,
they come true. Look at that Wendy Choo. Her dreams came true tonight.
She dreams all the time because she's always sleeping. Someday I'll wish upon a star, and I'll wake up where the clouds are somewhere in the rear view, behind me when troubles melt like lemon drops. I mean, listen. I like a lemon drop every now and again. like a good hard candy, except I can't do my teeth. So then
I
mostly
feel like they don't melt. I feel like a cotton candy perhaps would be a better example. I know it doesn't rhyme, but
yeah, no, where troubles melt like cotton candy away above the chimney tandy doesn't actually make any sense.
It doesn't, but it's a more accurate thing of something that melts. I feel like the lemon drops, they're a hard candy. They don't melt. We should
go back and find out who wrote this. Judy, it was written by I don't know who wrote it. It wasn't Judy. Didn't write this. Who wrote it? Harold Arian and I. Harburg. Oh my goodness.
Oh, don't get me started. I think I dated him.
I think I dated I. Harburg. If it
depends on your definition of dating.
Well, listen, he put me through a bed one time.
Who hasn't these days? Oh, you're so bad.
I am. Okay. So, in honor of Leggy Blonde Onion's new hair color and therefore character change, please have Linder sing Strawberry Wine. All right, here we go.
Beautiful ballad, that Strawberry Wine.
He was working through college on my grandpa's farm. I was thirsting for knowledge and he had a car. Yes, I was caught somewhere between a woman and a child. One restless summer, we found love growing wild on the banks of the river on a well-beaten path. I'm getting so hated here.
My goodness. This is about husband number 3.
I got to turn on my fan here so I don't overheat. It's funny how those memories, they last like a strawberry wine and 17. You shouldn't be drinking wine if you're 17.
No, and you shouldn't be exploring men in the back of the car.
Also, how old was he at this time?
Yes,
what do we do? Is this a Dane Cook situation? Because I don't think I like that for you, Deanna Carter. The hot July moon saw everything. My first taste of love. Oh, bittersweet. The green on the vine like strawberry wine. Yeah, I still remember when 30 was old. 30. Were you 17 and he was 30? Because I think I'm going to have to retroactively call the police. Because we can't be having that.
Not even on the Oregon Trail was there such an age gap.
God, no. I was 12. He was 14. It's perfectly legal. Ridiculous.
I love us.
It's a special anniversary show, so we're going to go long. Leonza Duncan said, "What the WTF? I just entered and heard Nuck if you buck." Welcome, Leonza Duncan. Welcome. This is it.
We welcome you. You've entered the jukebox karaoke portion of the show.
Yeah.
I don't even, as we're reminiscing on the 1-year anniversary, I don't even remember how jukebox started.
It was all Tony D stuff back in like in the fall. I don't know
and
why.
Then it just spiraled out of control.
I think what it was may have been this. I'm not really sure. We'll have to go back and look. But I changed the
story time, kids. Alex took off the glasses.
Yeah, I took well, there's no more Lindas. So I took the liberty of rewriting the lyrics to "That's a Maury" to be "That's a Tony," and I sang the song. And I think maybe somebody else wanted me to sing something else. I'm not really sure, but I think once it was like, "Hey, this guy does voices. Let's make him say stuff," and then it was like, "Let's make him sing stuff." Because it was originally just like say stuff.
Okay, so the first like hour and 50 minutes of this were an NXT review. I promise. If you're new here,
Leon, I'm so sorry you stumbled here. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sorry, but we're gonna help you navigate. So what happened is we don't think NXT's been very good since the reboot. And to make it fun, we do several characters and voices. We also still review the show. So the first like hour and 45 minutes of this show was an NXT review. And now we sit around and do impressions and we sing songs.
Yeah.
I hope that clarifies.
But we always save it for last. So if you want to go away, like literally 140 people just did, we're fine with that. If you just want us to do our ring analysis, I'm cool. But some people think this is the best part of the show. And there we go.
And they pay money, so we do it.
Yeah. They pay us money. These are all things people have asked us to do this. So this one is JW Pringle saying Nathan Frazier and Axiom singing by Crash Test Dummies.
My 2 favorite impressions.
Mm-hmm. Once there was this kid who got into an accident and couldn't come to school, but when he finally came back, his hair had turned from black into bright white. He said that it was from when the cars had smashed so hard. Once there was this girl who wouldn't go and change with the girls in the change room, but when they finally made her, they saw birthmarks all over her body. She couldn't quite explain it. They'd always just been there. It's true. We do just want to have fun. Axiom summoned the porn bots. They're back again. Okay. Orion Ben says Balor singing Daddy Wasn't There from Austin Powers.
Because he's a bad father.
Daddy wasn't there. Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair. It seems he doesn't care. Daddy wasn't there. Daddy wasn't there to change me underwear. It seems he doesn't care. Daddy wasn't there when I was first baptized, when I was criticized, when I was ostracized, when I was jazzized. Kidney 1 hour I was circumcised. Daddy wasn't there because he's a bad father. D to the A to the DDY. They say it's just a fad, but I've got a deadbeat dad. Sit in my room and cry and ask the reason why. D A to the DDY. You're a bad father.
I like the low key. You're a bad father. That's a fun one.
And again, we've already done this one, but we'll do it again. Tony's anniversary for Kate. Regal singing anniversary. Tomorrow will come, and girl, I can't wait. It's our anniversary. The first thing I'll do is run straight to you. It's our anniversary. 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 Made for you and me, man with the mask. And I've only made plans to hold your little hand. It's our anniversary. The pleasure's all mine because we have seen good times. It's our anniversary. Victoria will be no secret at the end of the day. It's our anniversary. A small cup of tea to you and me. It's our anniversary. War games.
Nailed it.
So now here we go. We got Buster Elizabeth singing my wedding song, Savage Garden. Tony D says singing Savage Garden.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I knew it. I knew I loved you as Savage Garden. Here we go. Maybe it's intuition, but some things you just don't question. Like in your eyes, I see in my future in an instant. And there it goes. I think I found my best friend. I know that it might sound a little more, crazy, but I believe I knew I loved you before I met you. I think I dreamed you into life. I think I knew I loved you before I met you. I've been waiting all my life. There's just no rhyme or reason, only the sense of completion. In your eyes, I see the missing pieces I'm searching for. I think I found my way home. I know that it might sound a little more crazy, but I believe I knew I loved you before I met you. I think I dreamed you into life. I knew I loved you before I met you. I've been waiting all my life. Hey, gabagoo. There you go.
I think he sings that about Escobar, but he would never tell him.
He would never do. So we got one that's going to be a. Oh, hold on. Did I delete one? I hope I didn't delete one accidentally. There was one here that they wanted Sheila to sing "Friends in Low Places." It's there.
Oh. Wait, no, that was last week.
No,
We did that last week. Friends in Low Places?
Sheila,
there's the duet of
Friends
us
in Low
doing...
Places. They're one that I want. I know that was one that we're doing as well. But there's a couple over here I have. Jesse Ozog says, it's my 9th wedding anniversary in about 10 minutes. Well, now it is your wedding anniversary. I won't be around tomorrow. Kate, say hi to the Mark Order guys for me. Alex, I was wondering if I could get Linda or Regal, your choice, doing our wedding song, Ain't That a Kick in the Head? And yes, of course you can, Jesse. How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I like tonight with the lights out match, the room was completely black. And then you fell on some Legos. It was terrible. It's so dark in there. How could you see? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? And listen, I don't think that's very nice to say about Natalya because I think she's trying very hard. She is the boat.
Alex.
She's a professional vessler after all. And I think that it's perfectly fine if she's got a hole in her. That's totally fine. My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is enough to begin in, my life is going to be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's like the fella said, tell me quick, ain't that a kick in the head? War Games, Master Man of the Mask. So we'll do one. Here we go. That was there. I don't know who sent it, but it's for you, Sheila. Friends in Low Places. It's here in the document. So we'll do that one. Then we'll do this duet, and then I have one final one just for you.
Okay. I'm pulling up.
There we go. The better one, Jambeard says, for Sheila to sing it so Kate can sing it this time instead of Alex, since he suffers through it all the time.
Okay, because you said that twice, you also get a free one next week because it's not your fault that we lost.
Not your fault, but yeah.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots. You know the boots that I have. I love my boots.
Yes.
I ruined your black tie.
You gotta wear boots.
Oh my God, fall is coming. I love boots for fall, but the last one to go. I was the last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there.
I never thought I'd see you.
You never did because you knew about the fallout that we had, and I wasn't actually invited, but I crashed the wedding. That's what the song's about. So, and I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. Remember that? But it was that cheap champagne.
God. It was not
disgusting.
very good champagne. They
went
with the cheapo stuff, and I'm like, listen.
Oh my God!
Come on, at least pop for something mid-range. I mean, what if?
Oh my God! At least something. Terrible. $20. But I toasted you. Said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain because I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. I'll be okay.
You'll be fine, really.
I think we all know that I'm not big on social graces. No. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis.
I love that place.
Oh my God, the Oasis Diner. The home fries. I've got friends in low places.
Yeah, you do. A-Shock snuck one into the wire here. He wants Triple H to sing Cult of Personality. And I don't know if I have a Triple H, but I guess I'm going to try.
Yeah, you just throw onto the end of all your words.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? The Cult of Personality. I know your anger. I know your dreams. I've been everything you want to be. Oh, I'm the Cult of Personality. Like the Mussolini and Kennedy. I'm the Cult of Personality. The Cult of Personality. The Cult of Personality. I don't have a Triple H. I'm realizing that right now. I don't have
Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston
Yeah. Get Battle One Sam Beard says, I did say for Kate to put a working boots on for tonight. So here this is for you, Kate, to do a duet by yourself of Moni and Sheila singing You're the One That I Want.
I got chills. They're multiplying. And I'm losing control. Because the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. You better shape up. Because I need a man. And my heart is set on you. Not husbands 1 through 8. That's for you. You better shape up. You better understand. Mm-hmm. To my heart, I must be true. Yes. There's nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want.
Yes.
Oh, honey. You're the one that I want. Mm-hmm. Oh, honey. The one that I want.
Yes.
Oh, honey. The one Absolutely. That I want. Oh, honey. That's it.
Ali Cease is asking for Sour Chat was read. Did you? Yeah, no. I'm doing that's the last one from Ali Cease. He said a Sour Chat in, and it says in honor of the SGS sending love to one another. I need all characters possible singing "We Are the World." Thank you in advance. Happy anniversary, Katie.
I hope that was for $35 and not a cent.
No, it was not. It was much less. There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. It's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We're all a part of God's great big family, man with a mask. And the truth, love is all we need. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day. Just you and me. Send them your heart so they know someone who cares. And their lives will be stronger and free. And God has shown us by turning stones to bread, so we must all lend a helping hand. Who have I forgotten?
Axiom.
I don't get yeah, of course. Sorry. There's a choice we're making over here. We're saving our own lives. It's true we'll make a better day, just you and me, eh?
Finn.
That's it. I already did Finn. I did Finn.
Oh, sorry. I missed
did Axiom. We're good. I think we're good. I think that's it.
Well, Alex.
Yes, you know what? Demolition. You're right. This is way different than all the other fights.
Well, NXT 2.0 was a little wacky, Alex.
It is.
NXT 2.0 is also a little different than anything in wrestling. Mm-hmm. Some might argue that's not a very good thing.
Yeah.
But a year later, I can't thank you enough for making this my Tuesday night ritual, and sometimes Monday and Friday night ritual, and always my pay-per-view ritual, because it's so much fun, and I adore you, and I adore our incredible community that we created, and it makes even not the best pro wrestling in the world the best pro wrestling in the world, because it's so much fun to be here. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for everybody. We'll be back to talk about other things. The movie for Get the Flick Out of Here this week is so bad I have not finished it. It's the worst thing that we've seen since we started doing this thing. It's not that it's a bad movie; it's that I hate it. It's not that it's a bad movie. It's just 1,000% not for me, and I hate it. But it's not like a bad movie. Like, it's got movie stars in it, and it got like a full release. I remember the movie. I can't watch it anymore. so we'll see how we review it, because I can't watch it. But yeah, we'll see how that works. Other than that, follow Kate and Miss Kate Fabe. Follow me at Alex Sour Graps. We'll be back here all the time to do more crazy stuff because that's what we do. And we'll just keep doing this forever and ever, apparently. But until then, keep cool, ghouls.